This is my story time on how I was molested at 4 years old several times by this sick ass man right here whose name is Marshall Smith. Here's the story. Okay, so before I start the story, y'all, I am one of those people who I have like a nervous laugh. Like when I get awkward or in moments that are just like uncomfortable for me, I might laugh or smile. So if you see me laughing or smiling at any part of this story, just know I'm probably uncomfortable. So this was a cousin, my mom's cousin, who was staying with us. And at the time, it was me, my brother, and then I had a sister who was like just born. So she was in the room with my mom and my dad. Me and my brother, on the other hand, we slept in the same room. So when this guy, and we don't know him, I don't know him as Marshall. Our family knows him as Puddin'. They call him Puddin', like the snack, like Puddin'. Um, and so me and my brother has our own room. So of course, if he comes and stays with us, like he, you would think he would either sleep on the couch or, um, I guess in the boys' room. So he slept in the boys' room, in our room. So how this was is I slept on the bottom bunk. My brother slept on the top bunk. So he always slept on my bunk of the bed. Um, Ooh, hold up. He always slept on my bunk of the bed, and I tell people all the time, like I remember this so vividly. Like I literally still remember like what he used to do when he was started or the process. So what it was is, of course, like my mom and my dad would go to bed. I'm gonna tell you about the first day. So my mom and my dad went to bed, and I remember I was laying in my bed, and my brother was woke in the bed above me or whatever, and he got in my bed, and he started like pulling my underwear down, and again, y'all, like I'm 4 years old, so it's so uncomfortable. Like it really is, y'all. It's very uncomfortable telling this story because I've never said it like publicly, and I know that this is gonna be seen by people. So I'm just uncomfortable, guys. Like, please don't judge me. I really am. Like, I'm just uncomfortable. But I have been wanting to do this story for so long. Like, I have people who know me personally know the story already, but so he got into, like I said, he got into my bed, and I remember him like pulling my pants down, and then my brother started moving on the bed above me, and I remember him getting up. We had like this fan. I don't know if y'all remember them little old school fans, but we had this fan in the room basically, and the fan makes a lot of noise. So he got up, like oh shit, like he forgot something, but he got up. He went and turned the fan on, and then he got back into the bed. And I remember like, and I'll never forget like him getting back into that bed and like continuing doing what he was doing. And I just felt like something like poking me. Like, that's really all I can say. Like, I just felt that. And it just, I remember like, because y'all, this became like an everyday thing. And so I don't know how long he lived with us, but I just remember so many nights it became like a routine to where he would turn the fan on and he would pretty much just do the same thing. But like I said, on his first night, I remember like I just felt something like poking me in my area of my butt, and I felt him like opening my cheeks up, like, and I just remember him trying to stick his thing inside of me. Like, I will never forget this. I'll never forget what I felt like in that moment. And at 4 years old, you would think that so a child doesn't even understand really what's going on, and I didn't understand what was going on, but I did feel like I knew something wasn't right about this. Like, and we'll get into how I ended up telling my parents and how it ended up coming out and a whole story. This story is definitely going to be one of those ones that has parts to it, by the way. So I remember that, and he used to literally like. Now that I'm older, I understand it. I didn't understand it at the time, but he literally used to like try to like stick his thing inside of me. Of course, it would not do that, and so he would literally just end up like jacking off. And I remember, I swear to God, y'all, I remember I used to always be like this wet stuff on me, like, and that's not like I said. Now that I'm older, I understand like he was, you know what I'm saying, on me after like he was ready to stop. And then we would go to sleep. And that's what the first time was. And literally, I just remember it happened so many times after that. Like, I remember one time my brother accidentally, he thought my brother was asleep, and my brother jumped down on the bunk, and he like jumped, and he like started screaming at my brother, like, get back up there, get back up there. And I remember I was like, damn. In my head, I was like, I'm telling you, I was a smart kid. Like, I knew something was wrong about this. Like, I just knew something was wrong because it's like, he would only sneak and try to do this. He would only try to, it's like it just was a sneakingly type of thing. The way it happened, the way, I just knew I was a very smart kid. So, like, I just knew that this is wrong. This is not right. At the same time, it was like, I'm a child. So, like, I don't really know what's going on. Like, I don't even know that, this is an adult act. I just know that I just knew something was wrong. And so as I said, y'all, like this would happen like I can't tell you how many nights, but I know that it was a lot of nights. Like I know that it was a lot of nights. I just remember he had a fucking routine. Like he would get up, cut that fan on. If he could, cut the TV on. He would always make sure my brother is asleep, checking up there, making sure the door is locked. He would walk out my room because our room sat right outside the living room, and my parents' room was right across. We lived in an apartment at the time. And so if they would have walked in, like it would have been an easy thing. You really wouldn't have heard, but he would always make sure that door is locked. Like he had a routine, and he wouldn't take too long. You know, this whole thing would probably go on maybe like 10 minutes. 10 minutes max. It was something that he would get in there, do quickly, and try to be done as long as he could. But I remember, y'all, when one day I finally said something to my parents, to my dad actually. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember me saying something along the lines of like, he has something poking me or something like that. And my dad was like, what are you talking about? He was making me show him like, where on my body am I talking about? What am I talking about? Like, and I remember I showed like, my butt, like here. Like, and he was like, is he pulling your, he's asking me questions, like questions, like, or is somebody messing with you? Is somebody playing with you down there? Or somebody pulling your pants down? And I'm just answering the questions like, yes. Yeah, and they're like, who? And then, like I said, y'all, we don't call him Marshall. We call him Puddin'. And I remember saying Puddin'. And all I remember, y'all, is one day, I remember this day I said this to my dad, I remember it was fucking cops at our house. My mom, everybody was heated, pissed the fuck. I just remember, like, all I remember is red and blue lights. It was a lot going on. Like, my dad was heated. Like, they had to calm my dad down. I think my dad damn near got arrested, literally, but my dad ended up knocking him out. My mom stopped talking to him, of course, but it just became this big thing in the family, and like he wanted to kill me, honestly. That was the thing. There's the second part of this story. For like when he went to jail, after he got out of jail, he was like, my real name is Ashton, so he's like, where's Ashton at? Like he wanted to come find me to unalive me for telling this story. And mind you, y'all, like this happened when I was 4. Bitch, I'm 28 years old, finna be 29 in 2 days. My story has never changed since then. My story's the same. I can draw the picture out for you if you need to. That's how this shit really is. But if y'all want the part 2 of that part when he wanted to unalive me, let me know.